My sister stole my fiancé 3 days before our wedding, so I gave her the wedding gift she'd never forget. Maya had always been the golden child. Prettier, smarter, more charming. Growing up, she borrowed my clothes, my friends, and eventually my boyfriend's. But I thought Jake was different. We'd been together 4 years, engaged for 8 months. 3 days before our wedding, I couldn't sleep. At 5 a.m., I decided to surprise Jake with coffee at his apartment. My key turned in his lock like it had hundreds of times before. I found them in his bed. My sister, my fiancé, wearing the white silk lingerie I'd bought for our honeymoon. Maya saw me first. Instead of shame, I saw triumph in her eyes. "I was going to tell you," she said, not bothering to cover herself. Jake realized he chose the wrong sister, but Maya wasn't finished. "Tell her about Vegas. Tell her about Christmas when you said my name in your sleep. Tell her about the loan. How you're planning to use her savings to open a restaurant with me instead. My $23,000. The money I'd saved working 60-hour weeks as a nursing assistant. They'd been planning to steal my life savings and disappear to Portland after humiliating me at my own wedding. I walked out without a word and sat at the beach where Jake had proposed. Instead of crying, I felt something cold settle in my chest. Maya had taken everything from me since we were children, but this time was different. I drove home and told my parents, "The wedding is still happening tomorrow, just not the way anyone expects." I called my cousin Derek, who worked in tech security. "I need everything documented," I said. Within hours, he'd installed hidden cameras in Jake's apartment and cloned his phone. The next morning, Maya waited in the bridal suite, wearing her bridesmaid dress. "You're not mad?" she asked when I arrived. "How could I be mad? You're my sister. If you think Jake is your soulmate, who am I to stand in the way?" I smiled serenely. "There's just one tiny change. Since you two are so in love, I thought you should be the one to walk down the aisle today." Maya's face went white, but she was trapped. Refusing would expose her as the manipulative homewrecker she was. 20 minutes later, Maya stood at the altar in a borrowed wedding dress, while 200 confused guests watched the strangest ceremony ever. When Pastor Williams asked if anyone objected, I smiled and gave an encouraging nod to continue. "I do," Jake croaked, having no choice with his mother glaring and 200 guests waiting. During dinner, I stood up. "Before we cut the cake, I have a special surprise for the happy couple." The lights dimmed and a screen descended from the ceiling. "I want to share some earlier footage that captures the depth of their connection." The video began with Maya and Jake in bed together. Not from when I caught them, but from months earlier. Derek's cameras had captured everything in crystal clear HD. "Claire's always been so trusting," Maya said on screen. "She has no idea we've been planning this since March." "Tell me again about the money," Jake replied. "Once we're married, she'll never be able to touch it." The room went dead silent as months of planning unfolded. The most damning clip was Maya saying, "Claire's always been pathetic. She's too spineless to fight for anything." When the video ended, I stood with the microphone. "Surprise! I thought everyone should know what kind of love story they were celebrating." The room erupted. Guests began leaving in disgust, but I wasn't finished. "One more gift," I announced. Every phone received a text with a link to the full video. The hashtag is Wamar's Sisterly Love. Feel free to share your thoughts. Maya screamed as the video spread across social media faster than she could delete notifications. "We can get this marriage annulled," Jake said desperately. "Actually, you can't," I replied, pulling out legal documents. "You're both adults who said 'I do' in front of witnesses. Congratulations, you're stuck with each other." As they fled through the kitchen, I heard Maya screaming at Jake about ruining her life. A year later, Maya and Jake were still married. Not by choice, but because neither could afford a divorce lawyer. Their reputations were ruined, their careers destroyed. The video had made them internet famous as proof that karma is real. I, meanwhile, had used my savings to start my own nursing consulting business and got engaged to Derek, who'd helped orchestrate the perfect revenge. Maya sent a bitter congratulations card. "Hope your marriage lasts longer than your capacity for forgiveness." I sent back a simple reply. "It will. I finally learned to choose people who choose me first."